So Keir Starmer is reportedly drawing up plans for a U-turn, yes, another one, on winter fuel payments after the policy was blamed for the government's bruising local election losses. Options on the table include raising the means-tested threshold or scrapping means testing altogether, so eligible pensioners can claim the cash as before. Speaking at the European Summit of Leaders in Albania, that one well, didn't it? The Prime Minister did not deny that a change was being considered, instead insisting that difficult decisions had to be taken. OK. Now, joining me is a political commentator and author Tom Jones. Tom, thank you so much for joining me. Now, Tom, I know you get this all the time, but I really, really want to ask you to sing for us, considering it's Eurovision Day as well. And you do share the name with someone rather famous. However, Tom, good afternoon. We are going to talk about the winter fuel allowance. Now, this could be another Starmer flip-flop. He's done them before. One that I would suggest most people would support, but he's not doing it because he cares about pensioners. If he does it, he's doing it because he cares about his election results. What do you make of it all?
Well, I think that's completely correct. I saw a tweet recently that somebody said Starmer's greatest strength and his greatest weakness is that he doesn't really believe in anything at all. I think this is a major problem for him, actually. So he's been, when he came into government, he was very focused on the £20 billion black hole that the Tories reportedly left him. And I think a policy reversal on this signals quite a great deal of weakness from Starmer, to be honest, after initially defending them as absolutely essential, necessary for economic stability. I think this could project an image of indecisiveness and particularly a vulnerability to pressure that will be a really, really big problem for Starmer later on.
I mean, this is the front page of the Weekend today, and we have done this story before. There were rumours, I think, about 10 days ago now that they might be reversing this policy, which, let's face it, I think even the staunchest Labour supporter would admit is pretty much not the best idea they've ever had. But he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. He can't really win on this, can he?
Not really, no, not now. And I think one of the things that hasn't been touched on so far is that we're considering this as a political decision. But the government also spent a lot of money pushing people over to pension credits as an alternative to winter fuel payments, because a lot of the pensioners who were eligible for winter fuel payments were eligible for pension credits instead. So it is possible that this policy decision is already fiscally negative, and restoring winter fuel payments might actually make that black hole that he talks about constantly a lot bigger.
They have actually gone quite quiet on the black hole for now, haven't they? Thank God. But as you say, Tom, it was a false economy in the first place. I mean, it was meant to say 1.4 billion, if I remember rightly. But if all the 850,000 pensioners who didn't currently claim their pension credit did so, it would wipe out that saving. And I tried personally, because my mum's involved in this, to get every pensioner to actually claim that. But, you know, I downloaded the form for mum and it was 243 questions, so we gave up in the end. I mean, most pensioners would lose the will to live by the time they'd finished it. So the whole thing was a false economy in the first place. I mean, it does beg the question, Tom, what on earth were Labour thinking when they came in, and what are they still thinking now by targeting the most vulnerable in society, not just pensioners, but also with people on benefits? Disabled people on benefits.
Yeah, and I think, again, this speaks to part of the problem that Starmer is facing. This has faced significant backlash, not just amongst the electorate, particularly amongst older voters who obviously vote a lot more than anybody else. The Labour HQ have suggested that this is a major reason for their poor election results. It was a major, major reason for hostility on the doorstep that people felt. And that has then translated into quite a lot of internal party dissent. So there has been a lot of backlash within the Labour Party itself. I think over 100 MPs have opposed the cuts. And I think it has become quite a big problem for Starmer to maintain party unity and discipline over this. And if you tie this in with his rhetorical move rightwards on immigration, then giving way on this makes that move on immigration, which is probably more important for the Labour Party's election prospects long term. It makes that slightly easier to stomach for the party's more left-wing MPs.
When you take into consideration the number of over 65s heading to A&E soared by more than 90,000 this winter. Now, obviously, I'm not saying every single one of them was down to the winter fuel payment, but there were lots more pensioners heading to A&E. This isn't going to do Starmer any favours as the leader of the Labour Party. So, Tom, do you think that Labour would actually be doing better if he wasn't the leader at the moment?
Oh, that's a big question. That's for perhaps somebody more tuned in for Labour. I think one of the problems that Labour would face is Starmer is probably their best option right now. It's not clear if Starmer went, who would come in and who would be more popular. Probably Angela Rayner is the most popular person with the base, but would she be more competent than Starmer? It's an open question. So I don't think there is an heir apparent to Starmer yet. And one of the things about government is that those heir apparents kind of bring themselves forward. But I don't think that's happened for Labour yet.
OK. Actually, talking of Angela Rayner, it's very interesting. I don't know if you noticed her, but was it doing PMQs or another televised session from the House? Angela was sitting there with a face like thunder when Keir Starmer made a joke about the island of strangers thing and sort of like, and her face just said everything you needed to know about how she views her boss's latest policies.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this comes down to there are huge divisions in Labour right now, they're actually doing quite a good job at keeping them undercover, probably a much better job than the Conservatives did, certainly. You know, they're not writing newspaper op-eds, they're not coming on your channel to attack each other.
No, they're not. They're not talking to people. And this is what we were hearing on the doors, wasn't it, Tom, during the election campaign, the local election campaigns. They're not listening.
No, absolutely. And again, this is part of the problem that Starmer faces. He's not listening, but then if he suddenly starts listening and he U-turns on this policy, it's a U-turn and he's seen as weak and vacillating. So he is damned if he does and damned if he doesn't.
Absolutely. Tom, are you sure you don't want to give us a couple of choruses if it's not unusual?
I'm a serious political commentator, you know.
It's a Saturday afternoon. It's Eurovision Song Contest Saturday and it's the FA Cup. We're not taking anything too seriously. Tom, thank you so much for joining us and thank you for having a good sense of humour. That's a political commentator and author, Tom Jones there. Thank you, Tom. Now, for all the best analysis and opinion on that story and more, please do go to our website, which is at gbnews.com. And now, time is running out. Yeah, there's more good news. This show is full of it today. Good news, that is.